One semifinal is in the books, and Grace Bible College will play tomorrow evening at 6 o'clock for the national title of the 2012 NCCAA Division II National Tournament. Their opponent, we'll find that out in about an hour and a half, as Valley Forge, the number 1 team in the nation, number 1 team in the bracket, will take on Central Bible College, the 12 seed and host team, as their game is ready to get set for the nightcap here on Friday evening, the 4th day of play of the national tournament. Hello, everyone. I'm Shane Freeby. Don West alongside. Glad to have you along for what seems to be an eternity of a week, at least for you, Don, as you've been here all day today for all 4 contests. And we started back on Tuesday afternoon at 2 o'clock with all the play-in games. Valley Forge, the number 1 team in the nation, knocked off Clearwater Christian 49-48 in a 1-point contest. Yesterday at 6, CBC, they've had to come from behind in all their contests, taking on the number 5 seed Kuiper College, winning that by 10, 74-64. And then a win over 4 seed Florida Christian, 77-75 last night. Before we get underway, let's send it down press row for our announcements, our prayer, our national anthem, and the starting lineups.
Love, integrity, faith, and excellence. We ask that each participant, official and spectator, join us in exhibiting these Christ-like characteristics and help create a positive environment for which to enjoy today's competition. Now, would you please stand with me as we are led in prayer by Dr. V. Hill, and then remain standing for the national anthem sung by Senior Caleb Grins.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this occasion, a great time of celebration, of appreciation of these young men and their accomplishments. Father, as they begin to play, we pray that you would protect them. We pray, God, that you would also keep us well aware of why we're here, Lord, and it's because of the gospel of Jesus Christ. May our Christian character, may the faith, may our example, our love, truly be demonstrated not only on the court but off the court. Lord, be glorified in what will be taking place today. In your name we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Teams, you can now meet in the center.
Your national anthem here at Forrest Arnold Gymnasium, the Kirk Hansen Court on CBC's campus. Again, the final game tonight. The winner will take on Grace Bible College, number 2 team in the nation, as they just won in the last contest handily over Ohio Christian.
For tonight's starting lineup. First for the Central Bible College Spartans, number 22, a sophomore, Mason Horsley.
For the Patriots, at guard, number 3, a junior, Donnell Davis. For the Spartans, number 12, a sophomore, Jake Brown. At guard for the Patriots, number 4, a sophomore, Lance Harris. For the Spartans, number 24, a junior, Joey Cruder.
Alford for the Patriots, a guard. A senior, Michael Strom. For the Spartans, number 32, a sophomore, Isaiah Monroe. At guard, for the Patriots, number 11, a junior, Steven Sims. For the Spartans, number 44, a fresh man, Terrence Culler. And for the Patriots at forward, number 23, a senior, Latrell Alford. It's the number 12 seed versus the number 1 seed, with the winner advancing to the national championship. Let's play some basketball.
So your starters for CBC at the guards, Horsley, Kruger, and Monroe. And starting down on the post, Jacob Brown and Terrence Culler. Great night for Terrence Culler yesterday. 30 points and 9 boards in the win to earn their right to play the semifinal against number 4, Florida Christian, last night. For Valley Forge, their guards, Donnell Davis, Lance Harris, and Steve Sims. And the forwards, Michael Stum and Latrell Alford. CBC 9-23 on the season, came into the national tournament with 7 wins on the campaign. Underneath the head coaching tutelage of Kirk Hansen, 33rd season for the Spartans. Valley Forge 26-7. They are the East Regional champions. Their head coach is John Mack in his 12th year. 12th year as head coach, 16th year as a Patriot. He played for 4 seasons before he took over as the head coach. Patriots in their home white, blue letters and numbering outlined in red, and the Patriots in their visiting black. Had to wear those black jerseys 3 days in a row on their own home court, as they were the 12th seed, but if you're superstitious, stick with the black, because you've gotten 2 wins on it thus far. Sit back, relax, and enjoy your final game on Friday evening. The second semifinal, and the winner will play in the national championship coming up tomorrow evening. Patriots win the opening toss. They shoot it basket left. As you look at it high atop the gymnasium, a kick out to Steve Sims. He'll drive into the paint and quickly get on the board.
That didn't take long for Valley Forge to strike first. I think certainly Michael Stum is an X factor tonight. Shane, for Valley Forge, he goes 6'6", no starter taller than 6'2" for these undersized Spartans.
You know, they are undersized in just about every game they play, and I almost believe that Kirk Hansen likes that. He likes being quicker. He likes being very, very deceptive whenever you get in on the paint, as the 3-ball from Monroe is missed as it rattled around the rim and popped out. Harris on the dribble drive. He'll lay it in. Lance Harris averaging 8 points a game, makes it 4-0. Patriots here early. That was way too easy for Valley Forge if you're a CBC fan. Harris had 13 points against Clearwater Christian to lead the way for the Patriots in their quarterfinal win. Cincinnati native Mason Horsley drives in. He's fouled in the act of shooting, so he'll shoot a couple of free throws as Donnell Davis picks up his first and the first Patriot foul. Mason Horsley, a tremendous game last night. He played all 40 minutes, had 12 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists against Florida Christian in the Spartans' monumental 77-75 win in the quarterfinals over the number 4 seed Florida Christian. Horsley averaged 8 points through the regular season. He's averaged 13 through the tournament. And the first free throw for the 75% free throw shooter is good. First point on the board for the Spartans. Horsley again, and the second misses off the front of the can and rebounded by Michael Stum. Up ahead for Harris. Harris drives, has his pocket picked as Culler knocked it free. He couldn't hang on to it, and it deflects all the way out toward midcourt to Michael Stum. Valley Forge, the East Regional champions, as it's taken away by Horsley. His shot blocked with the right-hand layup. Up ahead quickly, Steve Sims. Finger roll, he can't get that to fall. That was way too easy, and it fell out for Sims. 4-1 in the early going. Patriots lead by a 3-point basket. Looking to tie his color. Shoots it from 22 and it went 23 off the back of the iron. Up ahead in transition, Alford. And the bucket's good. He gets fouled.
Latrell Alford, the NCCAA Men's Division II National Player of the Year. 13 points a game. And just as good at his defense with blocked shots and taking charges. Just a very complete player for the Patriots.
Finishing the three-point play is Alford. Valley Forge looking for their first national title. They have been the bridesmaid 4 times. Taking home runner-up in 79 and 88. They were the national runner-up last year as well as in 09. Both of those 2 years they lost to Grace Bible, who's sitting in the stands checking out who they're going to play tomorrow for the title. As the shot for the Spartans, no good and in transition. It is Donnell Davis again, a kick out for Stum. He thought about the 3. Instead it goes inside for a reverse layup for Lance Harris. And Kirk Hansen takes the first time out of the game with his Spartans down by 8, 9-1.
Well, his team doesn't have a field goal yet. Just 1 free throw out of 2 from Mason Horsley, and tough going against this number 1 seed Patriot team after playing back-to-back nights and getting great emotional wins over Kuiper and Florida Christian. It's a very slow start to the game here for the Spartans tonight.
There you see head coach John Mack again in his 12th year, a 4-time All-American for the Patriots. He's also the all-time leading scorer for Valley Forge, almost 3,500 points in his 4 seasons. We've played 2.5 minutes. It's 9-1. Valley Forge on top by 8, and Isaiah Monroe sets things in motion with a bounce pass down the near sideline, and it gets tipped out of bounds. Last touch by the Patriots. Isaiah Monroe, the Ozark native. He lives closest to home out of all the players in the tournament. That includes a player from Bulgaria, as I remember from earlier in the tournament.
For the Ohio Christian team, the whole rest of their roster from the state of Ohio.
Shot clock down to 3. Monroe has his pocket picked as Steve Sims gives it up to Michael Stum. Lead is 10 already for the Patriots. Jump stop inside, and power move good by Joey Kruger. First field goal for the Spartans comes 4 minutes into the contest. Foul on CBC's Joey Kruger, his first. First team foul as the foul was down on the floor.
Kruger still playing with a broken left hand that he has tape around.
Stop and pop from 10 by Steve Sims is good. That last time out, Craig Gajeski checks in for the Spartans, a 5'9" sophomore out of Long Island. Kirk Hansen sounds just about like you will tomorrow at about this time. He's a little on the raspy side. Wore his voice out yesterday. Has a big move inside by Terrence Culler. He gets the hoop, he gets the harm, and he goes to the line. Latrell Alford gets caught with his hand in the cookie jar, his first. Second team foul. And Terrence Culler at the line, a 56% free throw shooter who averages 19 a game. Had 21 back in the play-in game, had 30 points last night, and has 3 thus far this evening. Lead has been cut down to 7, 13-6. It was 10 at 11-1. From mid-post, a spinning move inside by Alford, no good. There's Culler with the rebound, and if CBC can just play steady, not get ahead of themselves and not try to do too much, they can find themselves crawling back in this game, and that move by Kruger, his 4th point, and all of a sudden it's a 4-point game, 13-8. 5-point game, brother. My math's a little fuzzy. Wing right side, on the drive this time, Alford. Out to Davis. Up and under move, good.
Donnell Davis had kind of a tough time shooting yesterday in their win over Clearwater. 2 of 10 from the field, and he went 0 of 5 from 3. Made that one look easy.
5 Patriots have scored, and they lead by 7, 15-8. Gajeski simply getting hounded on the near side by Steve Sims. Behind the back with a pass from Jake Brown, intended over to Terrence Culler, and it goes out of bounds as it's poked free off the Patriots. Here's Kevin Mack, a 6'3" freshman. He hails from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
He had 7 rebounds to lead the Patriots yesterday, coming off the bench.
Also from Philadelphia checking in is Andre Howard, a 6'6" sophomore. Approaching the 15-minute mark as it is tipped out of bounds, and CBC couldn't control it, and it goes back to Valley Forge. Valley Forge out of Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, just a short drive out of the Philadelphia suburb. Across the timeline is Harris. Finds Howard out front. Boy, Jake Brown and Michael Stum doing hand-to-hand combat down inside. Heals a float-away jumper from Donnell Davis.
One thing Valley Forge does, Shane, is they guard you. They lead the nation at this level in scoring defense, allowing just 58 points a game, and they're number 5 shooting the ball themselves. 48% team field goal shooting for Valley Forge, so that's a good combination.
Joey Kruder attacking the rack, and he's fouled. Kruder heads to the line. He's got 4 points in the game, and the foul was notched up on Kevin Mack, his first. CBC has 3 titles to their credit, back-to-back championships in 01 and 02. They also won one back in 1994 as the first free throw from Kruder is good.
Roy Hardy was on that 1994 team, and now today his son, Roy Hardy Jr., playing for a state championship in Columbia for Hillcrest High School.
Roy played here, coached the women's program as well as the soccer team for a number of years as a rake across the arm and a CBC foul.
Still coaches the soccer team. Just a all-around good guy, Roy Hardy.
Also works for the Springfield Public School System, coaching basketball at the junior high level.
At my old middle school, Studi, over on the west side.
Fouls on Kajeski. And the front end of 2 for Andre Howard, no good. There was about a 4-year span where CBC was the team to beat in the nation. Of course, 01 and 02 when they won their titles. The 2 years following that, they were runners-up in 03 and 04. Andre Howard shoots 2 blanks from the foul line that trip. And a bounce pass down the far side. Nobody connects. As Harris drives in, a kick out for Sims. Sims on the dribble drive, he steps on the baseline. I'm not the only one with math problems.
Go from 2 to 6 on my scorecard with 1 shot.
13:49 left. I was wondering when they were going to put a 4-point line in. As Gajeski across the timeline, picked up by Mack. Straight to the rack is Culler, a pushing foul. And that will send Culler to the line. That's the first foul on Andre Howard. I think CBC likes to play aggressive, and they would love to take it to the rack just about every time and see if they can get the Patriots into a little bit of foul trouble. That's the 4th team foul called so far as Culler hits the front end of 2. Only thing is, it's gone on 4 different players on the Patriots. Second one from Culler is good. Culler with 5. 17-12, it's a 5-point game. Off a screen, Harris Looks down to the baseline. Stum from the deep corner. His shot off the mark. Offensive board, and Howard puts it back.
Howard for two.
19-12, Valley Forge. 13-13. Left in the opening half of play. Wing left side, Color looked for an interior pass. It deflects off the back of Howard. And in transition, Harris stops at the foul line, finds Howard down at the low post. He drains one. Bet CBC's wishing that they had TV timeouts for this broadcast because he's 50 seconds away from one, and I'm sure Kirk would like to take a timeout about now. As it goes into Horsley, off the mark with his underhand shot. Rebounded by Sims. On two passes, it goes to midcourt and then down to the baseline for a short corner jumper from Stum. Stum with 4, and Kirk Hansen will have to burn a timeout anyway. His second timeout taken with 12:30 left in the first half, and Valley Forge now with an 11-point lead, their biggest of the game. Hoping to make this broadcast possible and all broadcasts throughout the national tournament is Center for Holy Land Studies. Our college and university trips are specifically designed for college and university students, educators, or those wanting an in-depth study experience of the land, language, and culture of the biblical world. You see that address, web address on the bottom of your screen. Give them a call.
Well, Valley Forge has done it with great balance here so far. They have 5 players with 4 points apiece and one more with 3 for their total of 23. So all 5 of their starters, Davis, Harris, Stum, Sims, have 4. Alford has 3, and off the bench, Andre Howard with 4. And CBC's scoring, as is usually their pattern, is a lot more concentrated. Kruger with 6, Color 5, and then just 1 free throw beyond those 2. Mason Horsley with 1.
As we mentioned in the game just prior to this, you can pretty much take the seeds and throw them out the window once you get to this level, but you would think Valley Forge, the 1 seed, would have an easy go of it with either the 8 or the 9. They played Clearwater, who was the 8 seed, only eked out a 1-point win there, and they trailed throughout most of that game. Bounce pass to the low post. Kruger powers one up and in. Kruger the leading scorer for the Spartans. He has 8, 23-14, and in transition. Way too easy of a basket for Kevin Mack, his first points. Lead back to 11 and a hand check in transition. And that's on Mack, his second.
Into the game for Valley Forge, number 23, Latrell.
Alford checks back in out of Criswell, Maryland.
Valley Forge, Shane, the number 1 seed, but they lost to Grace Bible twice this season. But then Grace Bible had some other losses that knocked them down just a little bit further as far as their seeds went.
Foul line jumper from Color is good. He's got 9 on 2 field goals and 3 free throws. Out for Alford from 16, no good. Mason Horsley climbs the ladder and snags the rebound. You mentioned those 2 games against Grace. Valley Forge, throughout the regular season, played 7 teams in this national tournament, or 7 games, I should say. They played Grace twice. They played Ohio Christian, only won that one by 6. Ohio Christian lost to Grace just about an hour ago. As they steal it in transition, the tomahawk jam by Harris, who has 6. Beat Ohio Christian by 6, beat Florida Christian by 22. CBC has played Valley Forge earlier in the season, and it was only a 5-point game. That was in the Assemblies of God Credit Union Classic. And Valley Forge won that by 5, 76-71. Off the window, a shot by Andre Howard, good. He's got a half dozen. Lead is up to 13, and it continues to expand for the Patriots. Horsley, wing left side. Finds Brown, now Gajeski. Little stutter move, then a drive, kick out to Brown, long range deuce, no good. Boy, Stum can get up in the air, can he? Big rebound. And an outlet to Sims.
That's what makes him such a difference maker in this game, with the lack of size for CBC.
We'll see Tony Malone check in at the next dead ball as Harris drives to the foul line, met by a double team and a travel call. Great job with help defense by Joey Kruger to come over and help out Gajeski as he got kind of crossed up. And good help defense by Kruger, forcing that turnover. Just past the midway point of the first half, 9:48. Remaining in the first, 29-16, lead of 13. Gajeski, ball knocked free, and Lance Harris tips it out. Tony Malone did check in, a 6'2 sophomore out of Arlington, Texas. You see him down there at the low post. Here's Culler, right in the middle of the boulevard. He'll score.
They have to have another big game from Culler like he had last night. 30 points and 9 rebounds against Florida Christian. He'll need at least that tonight.
Turnaround left-hand jump shot from Alford, good. Remember, we were talking back on Tuesday. We were talking about this CBC team, and I told you Culler likes that dirty style of play. Whenever I say dirty, he likes the dirty work inside. He wants to get it in the paint. He wants to draw contact. He wants to get fouled. He either wants to make a shot or he wants to go to the line. That's a little bit out of his range, though, as he tries the 3 ball, and it goes out of bounds. Last touched by the CBC, and it goes back to the Patriots. Shane Freeby, Don West courtside here at Central Bible College. It's the bottom of the hour. And you are watching cbcag.edu flag-to-flag coverage of the NCCAA Division II National Tournament as Latrell Alford knocks down the first 3 ball of the game for either team. Alford with 8, 34-18. Horsley, wing left side. Tried to spread out the man-to-man defense. Now he tries to do it alone on the dribble drive, and he'll have to find Isaiah Monroe out at mid-floor. Monroe angling left side. Then he'll cross over, work off a Culler screen as the shot clock is down to 9. Horsley, pump fake, bounce pass into Culler. Spinning jumper, good. 11 for Culler. 34-20, leads back down to 14. A skip pass to Davis. He's open for 3 and he buries it. And a timeout taken by Valley Forge. It's a full timeout. Charles Staten checks in, a 6'2 junior. He's out of Austin, Texas. Tomorrow, 3 games on the docket. The 5th place game will feature Hillsdale Free Will as they defeated Trinity Bible in the first game today, 85-75, and they take on Clearwater Christian. Clearwater a 94-78 winner over Florida Christian. So Hillsdale and Clearwater at 2. The 4 o'clock game will have Ohio Christian taking on the loser of this game. And then the championship game will be at 6 o'clock Central Time, Grace Bible, and the winner of this game. Well, you can see Kirk Hansen, but you can't really hear him. As he's fighting the sore throat. Maybe you need to give him some of your entertainer's secret for dry throat and hoarse voices.
He can have it. It doesn't do a thing for me. I'm a chloroseptic guy. I tried that. And
I've heard great things about it.
Well, I can't endorse it.
Off the air pass, a steal, and then another steal as Stum got the interception, and then he threw an interception. And an offensive foul. You saw that one coming as Horsley extended that offhand and commits the offensive foul. Isaiah Monroe will check in for him. Well, Horsley stays in and Gajeski checks out. 17-point advantage for the Patriots. 7:38 and ticking away here in the first half. Wing right side, Davis. Off to Stum against the man-to-man thrown on by the Spartans. He'll pass away, then screen away. Here's Harris looking inside for Stum. Big rebound by Alford. Second attempt, no good. And finally, Malone will grab the board for the Spartans. Good crowd on hand tonight, probably the biggest crowd of the tournament so far. As Staten bounces it down to Tony Malone, his shot swatted away by Alford. Donnell Davis on the near side, thought about the three, but will pass off and get it to Alford. Valley Forge now with a sizable lead will slow things down, spread things out as some contact inside, and an offensive foul called on Donnell Davis. Elbowed. I thought the contact was away from him. I thought it was a Valley Forge foul, but I didn't think it was on him.
Looked like Harris was a little closer to that epicenter there, but Davis gets the foul instead.
Steve Sims back in for the Patriots. Patriots will go about 8 deep, 9 deep. About 9's all CBC has on their team, as a wraparound pass from Kohler intended to Malone was off the mark. Charles Staten picked it up. He shoots a 15-footer, no good. And then in transition, Mason Horsley back on defense to steal it away. He takes it coast to coast, and another shot swatted away by Alford. Kruger back in for Staten. 6:09 left. Opening half, 37-20. Patriots leading by 17. Kohler on the inbound play. Powers it up nicely.
Blocked there by Alford, but the officials weren't buying it.
13 for Kohler. 37-22. Now out front, Alford will drive and pass to Kirk Hansen.
Well, the official, Rod Taylor, was out there. It must be who he saw.
In transition, a foul called on Steve Sims. That's his first.
Every time I see that, I think of maybe James Worthy in about 1982 in the national championship game, doing something like that for North Carolina.
Stum back in as Monroe set to shoot. Spartans will shoot free throws from here on out, as that was the 7th team foul for Valley Forge. Left side Sims, he was open. Instead he passes off to Alford, and Alford knocks down another 3-ball, his second of the game. Lead up to 18, 40-22. 5:15 left as Horsley, wing right side, gets to Kohler at midcourt. And then in turn to Monroe. A bounce pass down to Malone. Turn around, actually a reverse layup is good. Didn't even know if he knew where the rim was whenever he threw it up, but he got the ball to fall. A lot of congestion at the foul line. And a reach in on Horsley. That's only the 5th team foul called on CBC. But it's Horsley's second. On the baseline, the drive again. Boy, Alford's just an athlete, isn't he? He can hit the three and he can soar through the air down in the paint. 13 for Alford. He averages 15 on the season. Steal by Stum. Up ahead, the jailbreak's on. But the jailbreak's broken up as Anthony Malone gets back on defense and strips it away from Lance Harris, who had an easy layup. 42-24, Patriots. As Harris off to Sims. Sims gets stood up by Monroe in the middle of the paint. Has to throw it off the left side, and it's out of bounds off of the Spartans. Patriots will trigger. They do so on their own baseline and get it into Sims. Now Alford, who had 7 points last night and is well past that tonight. He drives, left-hand floater, no good. It was tied up inside. I don't think the ball was ever actually secured by anybody. And the alternating possession will give it to Valley Forge. Well, now they change it and say CBC. Approaching the 4-minute mark, and CBC can't hang on to it. Taken away by Sims. 42-24. Elbow jumper from Harris is good. Well, it seems like Valley Forge, anything they shoot is going in tonight.
Just too many weapons right now for these Patriots against Central Bible College. Alford 14 points, Harris 8, Davis 7, and plenty of support beyond that for Valley Forge as they have a 20-point lead now here in the first half. Our game brought to you tonight on cbcag.edu by the Center for Holy Land Studies. Our college and university trips are specifically designed for college and university students, educators, or those wanting an in-depth experience, an in-depth study experience of the land, language, and culture of the biblical world.
.351 left, and Valley Forge making a statement here early in the first half. If they can continue to do what they've been doing against CBC, playing good defense, getting back, forcing turnovers, and then I don't know exactly what the shooting numbers are, but quite obviously the Patriots making a ton of shots. Gajeski across the timeline, angling off to the right side. He's guarded by Sims out at midfloor, and Sims stays right with him step for step. Another shot blocked inside, the third by Alford. Joey Kruder had no chance of getting that up to the rack as it was swatted away, and now Howard with a fadeaway jumper that's no good, but Alford tips it back in. Alford doing a little bit of everything, defensively, offensively. 14 for him tonight. Down to 3:05, a dribble drive, and a lay-in by Malone. Malone, the second guy off the bench on the season, averaging 6.5 points, as an illegal screen is called on Stum.
Caller number 5, Michael Stum. That's his first teammate.
So on the floor for the Spartans, it's Culler, Brown, Malone, Horsley, and Gajeski. For Valley Springs, Harris, Sims, Alford, Howard, and Stum. Jake Brown, wing right side. To Culler out of the ear of the Spartan logo at mid-floor. Taken away by Stum, and then Gajeski tries to take it right back, and a reach-in foul is called.
Foul number 20, Craig Gajeski, that's his second.
Gajeski with his second. A lead of 20 with 2:20 left first half. Harris, wing left. Sims was flashing across the top of the key, but he has to pass it back out to Alford at mid-floor. Alford drives in on Brown. Now to Harris. Harris met by a double team. He kicks it out to Stum. Down to 2:05 left. Shot clock down to 10. Firing away from 15 is Harris. He misses off the side of the cannon. It's grabbed by Malone, who will hand it to Gajeski to reset the offense and get the ball down the floor. Yo-yos with the right hand, passes down the right sideline over to Culler, who stands in the wing, guarded by Stum. Culler just barrels his way into the paint, kicks it out to Horsley. Long three from Horsley, no good. And Gajeski had the ball in his hand, and he was fouled by Steve Sims, his second. Ninth team foul, so that will put Gajeski at the stripe. Free throw wouldn't go for Gajeski on the front of two, or front end of 1-and-1 rather. And Lance Harris back to work for the Patriots. Lob to the big man inside, Howard. Good help defense again as cutting to the basket was Harris. And then after Horsley stole it away, Steve Sims now with his third foul.
So Sims out. Michael Ayala replaces him. The final 1:15 of the half, or will after this first free throw, with CBC in the double bonus now.
Horsley at the line, shooting the bonus. First is good.
Now Ayala in, a freshman from Windsor, Connecticut.
There you see the sophomore out of Cincinnati drain one. It wouldn't be right for a CBC team to not have somebody from Cincinnati on it. Kirk Hansen, a diehard Cincinnati Reds fan from that area, a Bengals fan, if you can believe that. Shot from Harris, no good. Got his own rebound and tipped it back in. He's in the double digits with 10. 48-28, the lead is 20, down to 45 seconds left. 18-second differential between game and shot clock. As Malone, picked up by Howard, backs it back out to Gajeski. Shot clock is down to 12. Horsley off a color screen, spot up three, splash. First field goal for Horsley, 6 in the game. Shot clock is dark, game clock down to 17. Harris looking for two trips out of this. The last shot of the half and the ball to start the second half, but it's stolen by Malone. At the buzzer, no. So we head to the half 48-30. CBC trails by 18 in the semifinal game against the number one team in the nation, Valley Forge. Quick look at scoring before we send it away for our halftime break. First for CBC, they're led by Terrence Culler with 13 points. Only 4 Spartans have scored. Joey Kruger with 8. Mason Horsley 6, and Tony Malone has 4. 7 players have gotten into the action for Valley Forge. 15 for Latrell Alford. Good first half for him. 10 points by Lance Harris. 7 for Donnell Davis. 6 points for Andre Howard. Steve Sims has 4. And Kevin Mack with 2 for the Patriots. 48-30 is our halftime score. We're going to step aside for a little while. When we come back, we'll have a closer look at the numbers and get the second half set up for you. In the second semifinal tonight, the final game before championship Saturday at Central Bible College. Shane Freeby, Don West courtside. We are going to again step aside and let you guys listen to Kirk Hansen and the CBC Spartans play some bells.
I got 16 for Alford. My points set up.
48-30 our score as we get ready for second half action. Shane Freeby, Don West courtside at Central Bible College as the Patriots with an 18-point lead over the Spartans of CBC. And Don, I mentioned midway through that first half that they had to be shooting lights out, and indeed they are. If you shoot 68.8%, 22 of 32, you're going to win some games.
Wow, they missed 10 shots the whole first half and make 22 of 32, 3 of 4 from 3. Didn't shoot many free throws, made just 1 out of 3 from there. But Valley Forge dominating on the boards, 18-7. And just kind of running away with it in every aspect in the first half.
Shooting well, playing extremely good defense, forcing CBC into 10 turnovers. Valley Forge has scored 10 points off of those 10 turnovers. So CBC is going to have to find a way, some way, shape, or form to put some points on the board. It will be Valley Forge ball to start the second half. You've heard a host of voices over the last few days. Rob Evans, Don West, myself, and here to take you home on Friday night for the final half is Don West.
All right, Shane, we'll see how I'm doing at about 8 o'clock tomorrow evening when the 3-game day is over tomorrow and the championship is handed out. CBC shot 11 of 26 from the field in the first half for 42%, but they were 0 of 6 from 3, 8 of 11 at the free throw line. Spartans come up with a steal. Monroe looking, covered up hard by Kevin Mack, and he gets out of it with the up and under move. There is Terrence Culler with a score.
Now, Culler is just so good around the basket. Not only plays like that, getting able to hit a reverse layup, but he has such a quick spin move inside, and he can really pound away as Latrell Alford answers at the other end. He's got 17.
50-32. Valley Forge still a big lead, and now they get the steal. Here comes Stum. He'll get around Brown and score, and Brown fouls him on the way by.
Yeah, Brown going for the ball, but still ended up hitting Stum in the forehead as he drove in, got the easy deuce, and he will shoot his first free throw of the game. A very quiet first half for Stum, only 4 points for the kid that averages 16 a game.
And Stum can't convert the free throw, so it's still 52-32. Stum with 6 total in the game now. Monroe into forecourt for Central Bible College. Around to Monroe, 3 from the corner is down, and there's the first bucket of the evening for Isaiah Monroe.
Boy, very quiet. What a great addition he's been over the last couple of weeks.
Here comes Horsley now. After the steal, he stumbles in and misses. And there was Alford set up there, and he disrupted Horsley just enough to make him lose his footing. Ball's going to go out of bounds, and it will stay with CBC.
Horsley was going in 1-on-2. He did not have the numbers and just got off balance and put up a poor shot.
Monroe working against Kevin Mack now. 52-35. Valley Forge with a lead. Here goes Monroe into a double team. He passes out of it underneath Brown, too far under the basket. It's going to come back out for another shot out of the corner this time for Horsley that won't go, and a foul in the rebound. That's on Kruder, his second.
Yeah, Kruder just, I think he got cut off balance as well. Whenever he started to go down, he took down the Valley Forge player with him.
So 2 minutes into the second half. Valley Forge working it down to Stum. Back through the lane and out. Harris back down. Back out on the arc again. Stum from the corner. 3 is too much. Air ball. And he'll hear about that now. Here's Monroe for Central Bible College. Down the lane, big crash, an offensive on Kruder. That'll be his third.
Yeah, that's the right call. Great job by Kevin Mack going and getting position way early. And a lot of times you'll see kids start to fall back and know the contact is coming and start their flop early. He just stood there and took the brunt of the hit whenever he came in.
Patriots on the possession, down to Stum again. He'll go up and miss. It comes back to him. Kicks it out. Around it goes to Harris for three. Will not go. Out of bounds. And Spartan ball.
We mentioned Rob Evans was here for day one and day two. He got a different assignment. He's up in St. Louis at the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament with the Missouri State Lady Bears, who won today. They'll play tomorrow at 1:30 in the afternoon.
They barely won today over the 8 seed Bradley. Trailed for very much of the game and came back to take it away at the end. CBC with Monroe backing it out. He'll drift off to his left now and drive in and score. The lane just opened up for him there, and he took advantage.
Great take. He had the opportunity to pull up for a shot early, but decided to go ahead and maybe even draw some contact and get a three-point play out of it.
Settles for the 2, 15-point game, and Stum gets 2 back for the Patriots. Timeout for Kirk Hansen with 16:14 to go in the game. 54-37 the lead for Valley Forge. Our game brought to you by the Center for Holy Land Studies. Our college and university trips are specifically designed for college and university students, educators, or those wanting an in-depth study experience of the land, language, and culture of the biblical world. For those of you watching in Pennsylvania and a fan of Valley Forge here, you may not be familiar with this guy, Kirk Hansen. 33rd year as the head coach of the Central Bible College Spartans. He has won 722 games in his career against 471 losses, a winning percentage of a little over 600. He is second in Missouri basketball history in wins at Missouri four-year colleges. You might think, well, Norm Stewart. Well, he's past Norm Stewart now, and he is trailing only Larry Holly, who is the longtime head coach at William Jewell University, which has recently moved from NAIA to NCAA Division II.
Inducted in the Missouri State Hall of Fame this past year. He went in with Forrest Arnold, who the gym is named after. Forrest was the coach before Kirk Hansen.
Inside, no basket for Malone, and a foul called against Kevin Mack. Arnold, his third.
Arnold played down at University of Memphis. His jersey retired there.
Inside, a miss for Color. Run down by Stum. And the Patriots go to work with a 17-point lead. Left side to Kevin Mack and down low. Taken away by Isaiah Monroe. He looks left to Joey Kruger. Cut off on the baseline by Harris, and he brings it back up front to Horsley. Knocked out by Lance Harris. Central Bible will inbound from the side.
And as we were talking about before the game, Kirk Hansen coaching his final 2 games this year, and next year will be the final go of it for the CBC Spartans. There are 3 different colleges here in Springfield: Evangel University, Central Bible College, and a theological college, that will all 3 be joining into one entity starting 13-14. So CBC's basketball program at that time will no longer exist, as they will give way to the Evangel Crusaders.
There's a foul on Malone. I hadn't heard that had become 100% official, but that's what's going to happen down the road here for this school. A merger with Evangel University. The mission will change a bit, but not the cause. To the inside it goes. Up and under move, and a miss and a follow, and it still won't go for Alford. And Culler pulls it down. Now ahead. Malone can't get the finish. The other way. Sims with a great pass, and it goes to Alford for the deuce. 56-37. Patriots the comfortable lead with 14-18 still to go. Color with a miss. Knocked out of bounds. And Patriot ball. Valley Forge by 19 with the ball. Now it's Sims looking inside, and there's a steal for Kruder. Look out, there's a tie-up. Held ball. Possession to the Spartans.
Am I just missing the first half box? I don't know what I did with it.
There's mine.
That'll work.
Andre Howard back into the game for the Patriots. They're going to wipe up the floor. Monroe to inbound. Comes into Malone, and he's fouled by Stum. Second foul on Michael Stum. Second team foul of the half on Valley Forge. There goes Kruder to the hole, and he scores.
Well, great take, driving baseline, getting around one defender and soaring in from the short corner.
At the top, Donnell Davis. Pass to Harris, deep right wing. One hands it across to Davis. Baseline back out front for Harris. He'll float it up there and in. Patriots back up 19. CBC just with no real way to get consistent stops on the defensive end, and that's where it's got to start. And a violation here, what, double dribble? I was screened out. Double dribble, give it back to Valley Forge. Over the top, Davis. Comes off to Sims, and he'll bring it back out to the top. 2-3 zone defensive look from Central Bible College. Into the lane, and Howard lost it. Here comes Culler, up and off the mark, out of bounds. CBC ball. Latrell Alford back in. Game high 19 points for Alford as he returns. Into Culler. Up and in. 17 now for Terrence Culler. Harris looking low. Double covered inside. Out to Davis for a three, no good. Followed up and in for Alford.
Starting to get for the CBC Spartans a little lackadaisical. He was not blocked out. Nobody picked him up, and the ball after the missed shot just fell into his hands.
Put up strong and a miss by Culler. It comes back to him, and it won't go down. 2 shots instead for Culler. Foul to Andre Howard, his second. Culler for 2 shots.
And this has become kind of protocol for CBC. Whenever they're shooting free throws, you don't see any other black jerseys down there along the lane. They send everybody back. Try to alleviate the fast break points after missed shots on a free throw, and they have enough faith in their shooting as a team not to have anybody in.
60-43, the lead for Valley Forge. 3 from the corner, good for Donnell Davis.
Well, CBC going to a 2-3 zone, and you see the open shot there. That's one thing you can do to break up that zone is shoot from long range. And we mentioned that last trip they didn't block out. That's something else that is a little more difficult to do against the zone. You don't know exactly who to block out.
Culler fouled again. Headed to the line. The foul on Stevie Sims will be his 4th. Terrence Culler shooting for what would be his 3rd straight 20-point game in this tournament if he can hit one here. That gives him 20. He had 30 with 9 rebounds against Florida Christian and 21 points against Kuiper College on Tuesday. Kevin Mack back in for the Patriots. This one good for Culler. .11 minutes to play, 63-45, Valley Forge. And traveling now on Lance Harris. Horsley will drive it into forecourt for CBC. Pull up for Monroe, up and off. Now Lance Harris gets fouled from behind by Malone. That'll be his 2nd. I didn't realize until you just said there a while ago that Baptist Bible College was involved in this merger also.
No, CBC, there's a theological college and an evangel.
Okay, not BBC,
Not
though.
BBC, no.
Okay.
No, Central Bible College, one of the theological schools here in town, and then evangel.
Now Gajeski back in. Mason Horsley comes out. Inbounds. Power move to the basket by Latrell Alford. He has 23 points. We were sitting here already thinking about what we might do to honor Kirk next year. Joey Kruder drives and scores.
I might get him a new vest.
He got him some good-looking vests, man.
I mentioned in a game earlier this year that Dr. Huxtable doesn't have anything on him.
Under 10 to go. Long and over the top to Davis, down low, up and in again. That's just unstoppable right now by the Spartans as Andre Howard scores inside.
Barring a huge comeback, I think you may be in for one athletic game tomorrow in a championship with the Patriots and Grace Bible going at it. Both teams have athletes, they've got size.
Latrell Alford, that's his 2nd TK.
Second foul on Latrell Alford. Joey Kruder shooting, will get timeout. 9:31 to go in the game. Jacob Brown will be back in the game for CBC out of this timeout. It's 67-47 in favor of Valley Forge Christian. Coach John Mack has the Patriots rolling now and looking more and more like it's going to be 1 versus 2 in the seeds in the championship game tomorrow. Grace Bible, a winner in our first semifinal game this evening by a score of 66-46.
And you mentioned that those two teams have played twice already. They played back in November in the Super 8 Classic. Grace was number 1 at the time, and Grace defeated Valley Forge by 2, 77-75. And then in mid-December in the Florida Christian Holiday Classic being played down at Florida Christian, 4 teams in this national tournament all played in that round-robin tournament. Grace, Valley Forge, Clearwater, and Florida. Whenever Grace and Valley Forge met in that one, it was an 11-point win for Grace, 71-60.
Well, Kruder banks in the first free throw. And gets 2 out of 2. (67-49) Valley Forge. Down to 9:20 to go in the game. Inside to Stum. Back over and around, and a drive in and a foul. Kevin Mack fouled on his way in.
Foul number 4, Charles Staten, that's his first.
Charles Staten gets the foul, his first, 6th team foul. Thank goodness they've opened a door. It was getting hot in here.
Can you believe the weather the last week we've had?
Well, let's see. You go back about 10 days, it started with a round of tornadoes around here.
Yeah.
Went on from there. Yesterday there were ice pellets falling in the morning, I'm told.
Well, just look at this tournament alone. On Tuesday, whenever we opened up, it was low 70s. There was some sleet hitting the top of the building here on Thursday. 50 today, 60 tomorrow, rain on Sunday, and it'll be 80 again by Tuesday.
80?
That's what they're calling for.
Bring it on.
They're calling for upper 70s Monday, approaching 80 on Tuesday.
Mack with 1 free throw, 68-49. 9 minutes to go. 81 the forecast for Tuesday here in Springfield, Missouri. Driving in, Joey Kruder scores.
I have a ball game that day. Just realized that. Over in Pittsburgh, Kansas.
Good day for it then. Here's a drive in by Stum, and he scores. I'm going to have a day of rest after doing 16 games in the previous 6 days. Leading up to next Tuesday.
I'm going to ask what your record is, and I'm going to have to assume it's during the Blue and Gold tournament.
Yeah. For like a week time frame or something, it would be. Kevin Mack gets the foul, his 4th. I don't know for sure. But I've been a part of as many as 8 games in a day.
Right.
But not 8 full, complete game broadcasts. That'd be crazy.
I had the pleasure of doing that one year.
Yep.
8 games on back-to-back days.
I say that'd be crazy. Our colleagues in Lebanon do that every year, and you're one of those guys.
Yep, that's true.
Under 8 minutes to go. 70-51 Valley Forge.
They found a way to get at least one game off here and there, I think.
Yeah, think so. 2 to shoot,
Ooh.
1 to shoot. Wow. Michael Ayala hits the deck flat on his back. The ball is going to be called a tie-up, and it'll be a possession arrow call here for Valley Forge. Terrence Culler was out and now back in. Shot clock says 1. Patriots are going to inbound, and it runs out on them. Good idea. They got it close to the basket to Alford, but even he couldn't release in time. Central Bible College takes over with 7:39 to go.
You know, that lead for the last 14 minutes has hovered around the 18, 19, 20-point mark. Not really any movement either way.
Culler with the score.
Great night for Terrence again at 13 in the first half. 10 more here in the second half.
Into Stum, and he'll shoot.
Number 12, Jake Brown, that's his second. Team 6.
Foul to Jake Brown is his second. And Stum for 2 shots. He has 10 points on a 16-point average. An All-American at this level of basketball, Michael Stum. First one stays out. Mason Horsley back into the game for CBC. two that won't go down for Stum. The difference is 17 with 7 minutes left. And a color. That one spins around and stays out.
But too much English on that one.
They'll go charge here on Kevin Mack, and that'll be his 5th foul.
That's his 5th personal foul.
So Mack will be out with 6:51 to go. Replaced by Lance Harris. Nobody else in the game on the CBC side has picked up their 4th foul. Only Joey Kruder has 3, and for Valley Forge, Stevie Sims has 4 fouls, but it's not a major concern at this point for the Patriots. Culler brings it out. Into the corner, Kruder. He'll work in and get swatted big time by Alford. But the Spartans get it back, and a layup for Terrence Culler.
Well, they stayed with it after the block shot. Everybody else had gone to the other end of the floor, but Culler stayed right there in the midst of it.
70-55 Valley Forge, and the 3 is down for Michael Ayala, and timeout.
For 3, timeout, Valley Forge.
So Ayala with his first basket of the evening. 6:07 to play in the game, and a 73-55 lead for Valley Forge. Our game brought to you tonight by the Center for Holy Land Studies. Our college and university trips are specifically designed for college and university students, educators, or those wanting an in-depth study experience of the land, language, and culture of the biblical world. Don West and Shane Freeby with you at Central Bible College in Springfield, Missouri, the Forrest Arnold Activities Center. 2012 NCCAA Men's Division II National Basketball Tournament. This is a semifinal game. Valley Forge looking to finish off the host team, Central Bible College, and make it to the championship game against Grace Bible College from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Tomorrow evening, championship game at 6 o'clock. Third place game at 4 Central, and a consolation game at 2 Central tomorrow. Hillsdale Free Will Baptist will play Clearwater Christian at 2 tomorrow Central Time in our first of a 3-game set. Then the third place game followed by the championship. Under 6 minutes to go as CBC works it. 3 on the way, no good for Gajeski. Off into the corner. Lance Harris keeps it alive. Ahead now, and a steal for Brown. Jacob Brown ahead to Culler. And Culler steps up and misses. Five and a half minutes to go. The Patriots step in, and there's a travel on Harris. One too many steps in.
I know we've done a number of CBC broadcasts throughout the years, and one thing that I think gets overlooked a little bit is the makeup of these teams in this tournament. It's obvious that there are some athletes on a number of the teams. I mean, pure basketball players, and you look at what Kirk Hansen has done with CBC over the years. A number of the players they get are here in college and just want to play a little bit of basketball, and he finds a way to make a team that can compete for a national title year in, year out.
Puts it together with no scholarships, no recruiting, really. It's just whoever shows up. It's a great brand of college basketball. Kruder takes it in and draws a foul. Michael Stum gets his third. Down to 4:43 to play, and Kruder shooting 2. Kruder 16 points on the evening. See that tape on the broken left hand, and the first one no good. Isaiah Monroe wants back in. Andre Howard back into the game for the Patriots. Kajeski coming out for CBC. Kruder no good on the second. Valley Forge leads it by 20 with 4.5 minutes to go. Long possession here for Valley Forge as they take time off the shot clock. Down to 9 now. Entry pass deflected back out, taken away by the Spartans. Color, well, it's going to be across instead to Monroe, and that was a good three-man look there for the Spartans.
Yeah, they simply got the ball down the floor off the pass after Jacob Brown poked it away. I don't think the ball may have hit the deck one time. Other than that, it was just simple passing between teammates.
Under 4 minutes now. Patriots will work the shot clock again. CBC not in a major hurry to extend out the inevitable here, it appears. They'll get another steal, though. Here comes Kruder. Here they go again. Color to the hole, and the jam for Color.
Boy, did he get up or what? He elevated and threw it down.
Well, that will give the Spartan fans something to remember from this game if there is nothing else they take away from it. Down to 3 minutes to go. 75-59, Valley Forge, and there's a shot that goes in for Andre Howard. Ball blown dead, and that'll let Alford bring himself back into the game in place of Andre Howard. 77-59, Valley Forge.
You know what the main ingredient on this is? Aloe vera.
Oh, on my spray?
You're spraying aloe vera into your mouth.
Okay. That must be why it doesn't do anything for me. I don't know. That's entertainer's secret for you. .2:15 left. Whoops, a little trip there will be called. Foul to Mason Horsley. Be his third. Still in the 1-and-1 on both ends for the moment. 2:11 left. And Lance Harris for the 1-and-1.
Father-son tandem there. Kirk Hansen, head coach for CBC, and Blake, his son, played all 4 years after graduating from Hillcrest High School.
Front end miss. Color on the rebound, and it's going to go out of bounds to CBC. Here's Charles Staten back in. 2:09 left. Central Bible College will play for third tomorrow late afternoon, 4 o'clock Central Time, 5 Eastern. They'll be taking on Ohio Christian in the third place game, preceded by Hillsdale Free Will Baptist against Clearwater Christian at 2 o'clock Central. Consolation final there, and then the championship game at 6. Number 2 Grace Bible and number 1 Valley Forge. That'll be a terrific game. Down to a minute and a half. Stepping in is Davis, and he scores.
Typically this time of year, you are a little further to the south down at Point Lookout in the NAIA Division II National Tournament, making or doing broadcasts for the teams that are down there. These teams you see playing today and throughout this tournament play those same NAIA schools. They've got C of O on their roster. Schools such as that play a number of Division II schools. So whenever you get a national championship game here, very similar to what you would see at such as the NAIA level.
Patriots are going to take it down to a shot here. 10 on the shot clock, 41 to play. A look inside and an intercept for Central Bible College. Shot clock goes off. They'll get it down to Horsley. Across it goes Culler and a miss. Rebound Stum and a foul. That'll be on Isaiah Monroe and give us a chance to go ahead and run down the scoring totals for this game. Valley Forge will move on with a record of 27-7 into the championship game. Central Bible College will fall to 9-24 and play for third place tomorrow. Valley Forge got 23 points from Latrell Alford. Donnell Davis 14, Lance Harris 12, Michael Stum 10, Andre Howard 10. All of those guys getting into double figures for the Patriots. Stevie Sims 4, Kevin Mack 3, and Michael Ayala with 3. Now Stum gets his total to 11, and he'll have one more. Central Bible College got 27 points from Terrence Culler, 16 for Joey Kruder, Isaiah Monroe with 7, Mason Horsley 6, and Antonio Malone with 4. 3 good for Culler to give him 30. Now Valley Forge is going to dribble it out. 80-62 will be our final score. Valley Forge on to the championship game tomorrow evening at 6 Central against Grace Bible.
Central Bible College 62.
So Blake and Kirk with one more to go here for this season. A third place game at 4 o'clock Central tomorrow afternoon against Ohio Christian. Well, Valley Forge certainly showed why they're number 1 in the seeding.
Yeah, they played extremely well. They shot the ball well. And defensively, they may be one of the better teams in this tournament that we've seen. They've been able to shut some teams down. I think the game between them and Grace will be phenomenal come tomorrow afternoon, because Grace is a team that's knocked them off twice already, and it's very difficult to beat a team 3 times in the year.
Well, Valley Forge proved why they're number 1 in the nation in scoring defense. They average allowing 58. They allow 62 to CBC and outgun them 80-62, and not much doubt in it once we hit the second half.
No, they whenever we went to the halftime break, you had a feeling that CBC would come out and try to knife into that lead, but they were thwarted off with their threats by Valley Forge quite easily, and Valley Forge able to get bodies in and out, rest some people before tomorrow afternoon's game.
And do I understand Kirk is passing tonight?
He is.
Okay, well, that'll do it for us for this evening then, as Valley Forge Christian from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania wins at 80-62 over Central Bible College. One more time on the schedule for tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, consolation game, Hillsdale Free Will Baptist against Clearwater Christian. Third place game, 4 o'clock tomorrow, Ohio Christian and Central Bible College. And the championship game, 6 o'clock tomorrow evening, Valley Forge taking on Grace Bible. And we look forward to all of those. That'll do it for us for this evening. Thanks for joining us here for the entire afternoon and evening of basketball at Central Bible College. For Shane Freeby, I'm Don West. And for now, we bid you good night from the Forrest Arnold Activity Center on the campus of Central Bible College in Springfield, Missouri.